Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 8 of the Sigdemy Languages English Grammar Series. It's great to have you with us. If you've been following along, you know our goal is to make English grammar simple and easy to understand. Today, we're diving into a tense that might sound a little complex, but I promise, by the end of this episode, you'll feel much more confident using it. We are talking about the past perfect continuous tense. So, what exactly is the past perfect continuous? We use it to talk about an action that was happening for a period of time in the past, right up until another past event happened. Think of it as setting the scene for a story in the past. It shows the duration of an action that was in progress before something else occurred. It's a fantastic tense for storytelling and adding more detail to your conversations. The structure is actually quite straightforward. You just need three parts: had, been, and a verb with an ending, which we call the present participle. So, it's had been plus the verb. For example, had been working, had been studying, had been playing. The great thing is, the structure stays the same for all subjects. See? You, hey, she, it, we. It's always had been plus the verb. No more changes, no more exceptions. Simple, right? Let's look at a clear example. Imagine this sentence: he was tired. Okay, that's a simple statement. But why was he tired? The past perfect continuous can give you as the answer. He was tired because he had been running for an hour. See how that works? The action of running was happening for an hour and then it stopped. And the result was that he was tired. The running happened before the feeling of being tired. It gives context and shows the cause and effect. Here's another one. When the guests arrived, the house smelled wonderful. Why? We had been baking cookies all afternoon. The action of baking cookies was ongoing for the whole afternoon and finished just before the guests arrived. The wonderful smell was the result of that continuous past action. This tense is perfect for connecting to past events and showing how one led to the other. Now, you might be wondering, what's the difference between the past perfect and the past perfect continuous? That's a great question, and it's a common point of confusion. The past perfect, which uses had plus the past participle like had finished, focuses on a single completed action before another past event. It emphasizes the completion. For example, he had finished my homework before my friend called. The homework was done. Finished. The past perfect continuous, on the other hand, emphasizes the duration or the continuous nature of the action. He had been doing my homework for 3 hours before my friend called. Here, the focus isn't just that the homework was happening, but that it was happening for a long time, for 3 hours. It paints a picture of a long, ongoing activity. So, past perfect is about a completed point in the past, while past perfect continuous is about the duration leading up to that point. Let's practice making some sentences. How would you form a question? It's easy. You just move had to the beginning of the sentence, before the subject. For instance, the statement "you had been waiting for a long time" becomes the question: had you been waiting for a long time? Another example: she had been studying all night. The question would be: had she been studying all night? And for negative sentences, we just add not after had. The contraction is hadn't. So, he hadn't been feeling well, or they hadn't been paying attention. One of the most useful ways to use this tense is with words like for and since to show how long the action was happening. We use for with a period of time, like for 2 hours, for 3 weeks, for a long time. For example, they had been traveling for a month before they ran out of money. Since is used with a specific point in time, like since 8 a.m., since Monday, since 2020. For example, she had been feeling sick since the morning. Using for and since really highlights the duration, which is the main job of this tense. Let's talk about some common mistakes. A big one is using the past continuous instead of the past perfect continuous. Remember, the past continuous was where tambahing describes an action in progress at a specific time in the past. At 8 p.m. last night, he was watching a movie. The past perfect continuous connects that ongoing action to another, later past event. He had been watching a movie for 2 hours when the power went out. The power outage is the second past event. So, if there are 2 past events in your sentence, and the one was happening for a while before the other, you probably need the past perfect continuous. Another mistake is forgetting to use been. Some learners might say he had working all day, but that's incorrect. You must have that middle part: he had been working all day. Had been plus the ing verb. Always remember those 3 components. Practice saying it out loud. Had been working, had been reading, had been talking. It will start to feel natural. Alright, are you ready for a mini quiz to test your knowledge? I'll give you a situation, and you try to complete the sentence using the past perfect continuous. Situation 1. John's hands were covered in paint. Why? Because hey. The answer would be, had been painting his room. Situation 2. The ground was wet this morning, but it wasn't raining. Why? Because it. The answer, had been raining earlier. Situation 3. He failed the test. Why? Because he. Use a negative form. The answer, hadn't been studying enough. How did you do? Even if you made a mistake, that's perfectly okay. Learning a language is all about practice and correcting our errors. Keep trying, and you'll get it. So, to recap, we use the past perfect continuous to describe a continuous action in the past that was happening before another past action. The structure is had been tambahin verb. It's fantastic for telling stories, explaining reasons, and showing the duration of an activity. It adds so much depth and detail to your English, helping you sound more fluent and natural. The key is to look for two events in the past and an action that connects them over a period of time. I encourage you to try using it this week. When you're thinking about your day, try to make a sentence. For example, before he started cooking dinner, he had been working for 8 hours. Or, my eyes were tired because he had been reading a book for a long time. The more you practice, the more it will become a natural part of your vocabulary. That's all the time we have for today's episode on the past perfect continuous. I hope you found it helpful and that you're feeling more confident. Grammar is a journey, not a race, so be patient with yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Sigdemy Languages channel so you don't miss our next episode. Coming up in episode 9, we will be looking at the future simple tense. Until then, keep practicing and happy learning.